ad-lib through it and read through it, because 1 Kings 3:16 through, and we're not going to even read it all, 3 through 27. Okay, 1 Kings. I'm going to just ad-lib it. Y'all can read it. Write it down and read it. It's really talking about Solomon, but by his wisdom. But I pulled out about the two women. The two women, they lived in the same house. There were two women living in the same house. Now the Bible says that they were harlots. Harlots, and that mean they were prostitutes, or they were promiscuous women, or they were wild women. They were into doing men and all of that. They were wild. But these two women lived in the same house, and they both gave birth to a child. But one of these women rolled on top of her child, and the child died. Then she got up and switched her child and put it into the bosom of the other woman, and took the other woman's child and put it into her bosom. And then she said, so she arose at midnight and took the woman that went before the king, and they was telling him about that. And they said, this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid. She rolled on top of it, laid on it. And she rose at midnight, she took my child from me, and while I was asleep, and laid it in her bosom, and then she laid her dead child in my bosom. So in other words, she switched the baby. It ain't nothing new. They've been switching baby way back in the Bible days. It ain't nothing new, but she was sleeping at a dangerous time. You think that, you protecting your child, somebody come and just sneak your child out of your arm while you're sleeping. That's just how dangerous it is. It ain't just happening now. Look at it. It was happening way back then. And then, so she said, y'all be quiet. Okay. KJ and Zay, get out of the floor. Get the papa watch.
I got it. Spit them down here.
And then she said, when I got up to feed my baby, I couldn't see it, it was dark, but when it came morning, I looked and I said, this ain't my baby. This is not my baby. A mother knows her child. A mother knows her child. And the other woman said, no, but the living is my son, and the dead is our son. And she said, no, but the dead is your son, and the living is my son. So they took it before the king. So it was she say, he say. Then a lot of he say, she say, way back in the Bible days. Ain't nothing new. Then the king said, this one said, this is my son, and my son living. That one said, that's my son, and my son is dead. And he said, bring me a sword, bring me a knife. And the king said, divide this living child, divide the kid. Since we don't know who, and I don't know who's telling the truth, just divide the child, divide it. Then spake the woman, whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, oh my lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other woman said, let it be neither hers nor mine. Go ahead and divide it. Then the king answered and said, give the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother there indeed. So the king realized that the woman that was willing to give up her son to save his life was really the mother. So my topic on this would be, we're talking about a good mom. I don't care if this woman was a prostitute. I don't care what she was. Yet, to me, she was still a good mother. Anybody willing to give up their child to somebody else to save their life, to me, that's a good mama. And we got some good mamas in the house today. We got some good mamas in the world today. Now, you know this woman giving up her child to somebody else. Now, you know she was going to feel hurt. She was going to feel lonely. She was going to feel empty. She was going to have a lot of sleepless nights. She was going to be crying.